Welcome, Cancer. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your full moon in Aries reading. The full moon will occur on the 29th in the early morning on the west coast of the U.S., which means it's going to be the day before in most of the Western Hemisphere. I have laid out the axis of the horoscope wheel. I will clarify with the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot and finish up with a couple of oracle cards. I will be building an extended reading from this, and if you are resonating with this reading, perhaps you will join me there. I will put a link in the description box below. So let's get started, Cancer, with your overall energy. If you're enjoying this reading, of course, share this video, and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. I appreciate all the love that you give me and support. You've pulled the Hangman, Cancer. This is about your need to pull in, step back. Perhaps for some of you to actually retreat in order to gain the clarity and the larger perspective that's necessary for you to move forward. There may be a lot of information that you're processing and a lot of changes that are impacting on the way that others are seeing you, the way that you're now assuming responsibility within your tribe, your family, your community, or the way in which you are stepping away from a familiar role that you've been playing in that regard. You understand that in order to recognize the opportunity that you have right now, you have to think differently. You have to open up the way that you're thinking in order to understand where the opportunities are for you. And that's what you're about right now. So I can't underscore the necessity for rest enough, and that goes for just about all of us. It is necessary for you to rest. In the position of the 10th house, the 5 of Swords is showing what you are retreating from. There is a sense of having been labeled and described in a way that has been very limiting to you. This is particularly hurtful because it's been people that you are close to, or people that you might have imagined would be happy for your success or your victory. Pursuing things, asking for help, has met with people expressing or rejecting your requests out of hand, from a perspective that you don't have what it takes to get what you want, that you're somehow deficient or defective. And that's something that has caused you a lot of hurt in the past, and it has quite possibly limited those things that you pursued, believing, doubting, and playing into this perspective, the view of you, the way others are perceiving you. You're moving beyond that. You're changing that quite actively by retreating from this situation. You may have done things that have allowed you to take a stand against this kind of treatment, this kind of negative reinforcement, negative criticism, or being laughed at, being made fun of, people dismissing you out of hand, so that you are recognizing that your ideas are worthy, are valid, and you are deserving of whatever you desire. In the first house, the 8 of Cups. Yeah, there's a feeling that you are moving away from a very cherished tribe or set of relationships. It almost feels like a graduation, but you're looking to something more satisfying, more significant. You're hungry for a challenge that you have an opportunity to meet. Part of this challenge involves the cutting ties, the releasing relationships that have been meaningful for you. And this can be a frightening transition for many of you. this moving away from what is familiar. And my sense is that this is not a move you would care to make if you had any other alternative. But for some reason, this is necessary. This is essential for you to move on, to meet this challenge and allow yourself to release these ties so that you can find your satisfaction, your joy, or contentment elsewhere. In the fourth house, the Emperor. This is surprising in the house that is the area of your life that is your domain, your family, your home, your domestic environment. This can even be your culture or ancestral history. This is where you are releasing what you can't control. You have a good sense that you are only responsible for your own actions, your own words, your own efforts. And in many ways, that you have labored for so long on behalf of others has taught you the wisdom that you are now able to employ in separating yourself from those conditions, releasing, surrendering to those conditions, opportunities, relationships that you have no control over. There is a sense of taking ownership for your individual life here, even as you labor on behalf of others, so that you are clear about the choices that you're making on your own behalf. In the seventh house, the house of your relationships, I see a new, fresh start. This can be the beginning of a closure, an ending, as well as the clearing away of an old opportunity or relationship for a new one. This feels more in alignment with your individual talents and contributions. This feels like a journey that you are attempting to take on your own terms, for your own pleasure, satisfaction, or contentment. This is alignment, pursuing something that you've always wanted. And now feels like a time, perhaps through the process of elimination, through the failure of other aspects and other relationships in your life, for you to take this fresh start. I'm going to clarify the Eight of Cups in the first house with the Two of Pentacles in the second house and the Two of Wands in the third house. Yeah, a lot of hard decisions for you to make. There's a lot of reevaluating and gaining those skills, efforts, and even rewards from a past way of life, a past lifestyle. And you're turning your attention towards the future. There's not a lot of you in the middle here. You are really trying to keep up with the changes that you've experienced, a drastic change in circumstance around your values, around your possessions, around what you own, perhaps specifically around your money or the source of your money. And the Two of Wands is that place where you know who you are, you know what you're good at, and you desire to move away from what's familiar, what's tried and true, into moving towards the unfamiliar, being comfortable, being brave enough to know that it's time to move on. In the Emperor in the fourth house, we are clarified by the Four of Cups in the fifth house and the Five of Pentacles in the sixth house. Something that you've always wanted is on offer to you. And now that you have it, you're recognizing that you're not even the person that you were when you first created this intention, when you first manifested this desire. This is triggering this evaluation of how much you've changed, how much you've progressed. And it's also, again, reflecting back on this sense of limitation that you've experienced through the expectations of others. Perhaps this is a sense that others never expected much from you, or that you perhaps didn't dare to expect too much for yourself. This is having an impact on your health in some way, or the health of those around you. You may be working against a physical condition in order to change it, or at least nurse and tend to that condition on behalf of others. This may be you extending your health, improving your health so that you can be there for others. But you are changing your perspective. You're moving away from the sense of limitation, and understanding that if you're not satisfied with the offer you're receiving, this wish that you are manifesting, you can manifest something differently. But this does come with a sense of being pulled apart, being torn. And that's something that's kind of permeating the reading here, having to move on despite a sense or a desire to stay put, even if staying put is in an unhappy or uncomfortable place. The Ace of Wands in the 7th house is clarified by the 10 of Wands in the 8th house and the 9 of Cups in the 9th house. Well, you're definitely dropping a heavy responsibility. You're releasing and surrendering a sense of responsibilities and obligations that have come about as a result of a partnership, or the way that you've been sharing your resources with others. And it's interesting that actually surrendering the set of obligations is really triggering and stimulating your happiness. There's a sense of relief coming about through this opportunity to start something new, no matter how difficult it is to tear yourself away from an old circumstance. There is a sense that you've done your best, you did what you could do, you found happiness where you could find it, you cultivated a sense of nourishment, nurturing, and joy in this relationship or this tribe or group that you were connected to. The 5 of Swords in the 10th house is clarified by the 7 of Swords in the 11th house and the Wayfarer or the Lovers in the 12th house. So there's this ongoing sense of responding, your response to rejection or criticism, your response to being put down or minimized, your talents or being seen as less than by others. You're now understanding that you can pick your battles among the negative feedback even that you are receiving, or the criticism that you are a part of. And that haters are a part of this journey that you're closing out. This set of responsibilities you're releasing is engendering jealousy and competition from others, who you would imagine would be supportive, nurturing, caring for you in what is a difficult transition. This is about, again, returning to making choices that align with who you are and what you need. And in the past, you may have subsumed your choices in partnership as part of sharing a path with someone else, or with a team, or with a family. But now you're in a position to choose what is in your long-term interest, without the same consideration for others who have demonstrated that they have not, in many cases, been considerate of your needs or desires. As I said, there is a sense of anguish that I'm feeling from your making this change, basically moving to a new and positive, spirited, inspired new direction that will allow your talents to flourish. But there is a sense of the difficulty of this path. You've been so available to so many others that they have fought in many not so kind ways to keep you put, to keep you stuck. I'm going to read from or pull a crystal oracle card. For some reason, I'm having difficulty talking, and really reminding you that you can like, share, and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. And I've pulled the beautiful Jade. Be the bigger person. Something tells me you have a lot of experience with this, Cancer. And I'm going to pull a soul's journey. And again, remind you that I will be building an extended from this. And a few things flipped out. But what caught my eye is balance. Beautiful balance. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. Well, those go together for me. I hope to see you on the other side. Until next time, Cancer, namaste.